I've been away from YouTube for a while, and it's time for a life update.
Daniel Morad for Winward Racing. Daniel Morad will fight his way through. What a driving speed from Morad. Daniel Morad, number 57. And here comes Daniel Morad.
Let's start with...
And it'll be between Daniel Morad and Will MORADNESS.
The Rolex 24 at Daytona. It was the best possible way to start the year, but just rewinding a little bit further back, on the Friday of the Rolex 24, I ended up running the Michelin Pilot Challenge race, the IMSA Michelin Pilot Challenge, and things were looking really bad for us actually. We didn't have the speed, we didn't have the balance performance in our favor. We were really low on top speed, and somehow, some way, the team managed to pull off an amazing strategy call with our pit stop and taking fuel so we didn't have to save fuel. We managed to finish second place, which was way better than I expected. I thought a top 10 would be a great result, but that just started the great weekend that it was. And leading into the Rolex 24 at Daytona, we're feeling good. We were feeling optimistic, but we knew it would be challenging. There were a few cars that were quicker than us on outright pace, but across the board, everyone on the team, all the drivers, team members, mechanics, engineers, strategists did a fantastic job and called the perfect race. Like, no joke, it was one of the best races that I've been part of in terms of pure execution, literally no mistakes on our part. And the car was running up front the entire race. It came down to the very end where there were 38 minutes to go, full course yellow. I was in the car at the very end and super honored to have the opportunity to bring the car across the line. But I'm not joking when I tell you the intensity level was so high. It's not even something I can explain. It's the most intense situation of your entire life. The entire race on your shoulders, the team putting the trust in you, your teammates supporting you and standing behind you. And it's the first time I've been given this opportunity to pull this off. And it was just insane. The amount of focus and concentration, I have to say, it was the best driving of my entire life. I can't even remember what I was thinking about except for where I was in that exact moment. It was insane. And yeah, just incredible. I had to release the emotion. I was so locked in for such a long period of time that once I crossed the line, it was just a release of emotion and one of the greatest moments of literally my entire life. And that really set the tone for the entire year. Ended up picking up a lot more work within the Mercedes program and within Winward actually, because that led to the opportunity to drive in GT World Challenge Europe, which added another 5 races to the calendar for me. And on top of that, GT World Challenge Asia, which had a couple conflicts with IMSA, with my Michelin Pilot Challenge season, which is, I would say, my main program, because I've been with Winward now, this is my second season, and I dedicated my time to Winward. So I really prioritize that Michelin Pilot Challenge Championship, even if it's GT4, as my main target, my main priority to drive with Bryce Ward and Winward Racing. Picked up some GT World Challenge Asia races with Craft Bamboo and one of my really good friends, Ki Kao, who I got into racing 10 years ago. Yeah, just got really busy after that win. Ended up with Paul Ricard, Spa 24, Nürburgring, Monza, and the final race is still TBD at the moment. And in Asia, got to do Shanghai, Suzuka, and soon going to be heading over to Sepang for the final race. That's all on top of my Michelin Pilot duties. So yeah, I mean, the season's been great. A lot of ups and downs. We had a podium finish at Laguna. We had a podium finish at Mid-Ohio. And outside of that, a couple unfortunate races. In GT World Challenge Asia, we were able to finish on the podium for the first weekend that I ever drove with my friend Ki, nearly winning the first race there in Sepang. Aside from the puncture, basically took us out of contention for the win. In race one, it just, from the moment we left the pits, everything was going great. But I think it was 2 or 3 laps into the stint where we picked up a slow puncture and we ended up having to stop to change the tire. But race 2, we ended up with the podium finish, finishing P2, which was amazing. Such a great highlight to add to the year, to finish on the podium with one of my great friends. But yeah, Europe, it's been difficult. First race in Paul Ricard, we had damage that was no fault of our own. Another car collided into us just before I got in the car, unfortunately, and we had to retire it halfway through my stint. And Spa 24 was looking so great until it wasn't. We were leading the race, got a puncture, and just played catch up the whole rest of the race. But yeah, it's been a whirlwind of a year. A lot of traveling, a lot of hotels, a lot of airplanes, a lot of success. Started the year off amazing, and yeah, it's just been a crazy journey. The biggest news, even bigger than a Rolex 24 win, is the fact that my wife Jess and I are actually having a baby as well. So we're expecting to have a little girl in November, which is really, really exciting news. It's something we've been looking forward to eventually doing, for a long time. We wanted to have our own family. We got married a few years ago. We wanted to have a family of our own, and it's just been the greatest news. So yeah, the month of Daytona and like the events afterwards were, not to go into details, but it was a great series of weeks where, we got the watch, got the win, and ended up finding out that we're going to be parents. So 2024 has been an amazing year so far, and we're only halfway through. So there's still a long way to go, a lot more races. I'm going to try to be a lot more active on YouTube and share some content with you guys from sim racing, from real racing, and it's just been difficult. It's a lot. There's so much going on. I'm traveling every week nearly, and it's going to slow down at one point. And this year, I said to my wife, to Jess, that no matter what comes up, I'm going to say yes. It's going to be yes all the time. We're going to work as much as possible this year because we're going to be starting a family, and want to make sure that we're able to support. So, so far, amazing year. Can't wait to see what the rest of 2024 has to bring. I am looking forward to making a lot more YouTube content, but also just driving a lot more, racing all over the world, and racking up those air miles. Don't be worried. I am going to get back to the YouTube grind. We're going to be pushing out a lot more videos, but just wanted to catch up with you guys and let you know what's been going on so far and where I've been, why I've been away from YouTube. Exciting times, and can't wait to see what's coming up next in our future.